Today I will be building an external rim shot for my electric drums. These drums are basically a low-end set of drums that I use to practice and keep the noise down to keep the neighbors happy. And the problem that I'm having though is with the snare. When I'm playing the rim shot, the head part tends to get mixed in and vice versa, and it is affecting the performance of the snare. So in order to solve that, I hope to build an external rim shot. First, I simply just cut out a template of the way that I want the rim shot to be. And most of you rim shots are done in this area here, or at least for me it is. So I used a pattern like this, kind of curve it with the drum, and that will be the pattern that we will be going on to build our external rim shot. Here are some items that we will need. Start out with, as I've already said, we need a pattern to go by to draw it out, and then we will need, I'm using a piece of wood. I guess whatever works for you. I'm using what I got, a piece of wood. This is a piece of an old cymbal that where I had made my own cymbals back sometime. You need something to, basically when I build this rim shot, it is basically like the pattern of a cymbal. So this works great to put your piezo on. And you will need some kind of cushioning to go on top of that. You will need some way of sticking it. That's two-faced tape and crazy glue. To attach it to the snare itself, you will need a couple of brackets, some screws, nuts, and washers. And this is the pattern that you need 3 each and 2 washers because we want to be able to adjust it, and a little cushioning to hopefully to keep that head of the snare from bleeding through, and the piezo, the pickup, the contact pickup that will cause our rim shot to work. And these are simply basically used for beepers and buzzers and things like that. But it also will work as our project today, building an external rim shot. At this point we take our little pattern, simply set on our wood and draw it out, of course, simple, and also go ahead and catch the old part of the cymbal that we'll be putting our piezo transducer on. We'll now cut our pattern out. We have our piece of wood cut. And what this is cut out for is for your piezo to fit in which we will use a piece of cushioning, which we will cut this to size. And we will glue our piezo on the old cymbal right here. And we will put some double stick tape on it, and hopefully this will work out. And we have mounted our brackets to our rim shot. And what I've done here, as you can see, I have took a piece of rubber and put in between the wooden part of the rim shot and the bracket that will bolt to the snare itself, to hopefully the rubber will keep us from getting feedback from one to the other. So that is where we're at right now. And I'd like to note these brackets and how far to space them. I'm going to slide over here to the snare. When you building these, you want them to be able to adjust even with the old rim of the snare drum. That way when you do your rim shot, it will basically be the same thing as before. So when you fix your adjustments, just keep that in mind. The brackets may vary from one to the other, and you just have to kind of measure it out as you build your rim shot. As you can see, we have got our Rimshot together. As you can see that where I put the foam in there, and the foam that holds it down to our brace or our O symbol, and here's our padding. That padding is simply shelf padding or mouse padding that you use on your computer. As you can see, the little piezo up in there, it's mounted to the brace, and then you got your little cushion to hold everything in place, and of course you got your wires, and there you have the Rimshot so far. And let me get finished up and we will see if this thing works. As you can see, we have our bracket mounted, and as we flip it over, see, there's our Rimshot on our drum. And keep in note, you want to make sure that the piezo wire is stationary or fixed to where you're not pulling it out or it's not coming loose, because where they are soldered on the piezo, they're very sensitive or very easy to pull off. And at this point, we like wiring it and trying it out. And we have now wired our external Rimshot, and simply what I did, I just simply drilled a hole and unhooked the piezo from the inside, or removed it. I was able to remove it and reuse it on the outside here, and that is kind of the way it works. Now let's see if it will work. Now that we have our Rimshot completed, now it is time to test it and see if it will do what it is supposed to do. Okay, we see that we're good to fly there. Now let's try a clip track. Well, there you have it. I think that it might work for me to do a little fine tuning. Might need to cut it down just a little bit, but other than that, I'm happy with it.